Okay. Well, welcome. It is such a joy to be here with you guys. Hmm. Just kind of almost an aside. Um, I had an experience this week that just really made me appreciate and just be grateful for this mindfulness practice and what it has given me. And I was talking with a friend, or not even a friend, more of a mentor, someone I don't know really well. And she was like, Jamie, you're being untruthful. And it was one of those interesting things. That's like I felt her words come at me, and I was like, "Oh, really?" This like curiosity of this like intrigue, and I was like, "I'm very interested about this. Tell me more. Like, what are you noticing?" And I mean, it was so immediate, just the excitement or the intrigue or the curiosity. And then later I was thinking about it. It's like 15 years ago, if my 15-year-old ago self would have heard those words, that is not the way I would have responded. It would have been like this, like, oh, just dagger wound to my heart. They're like, what do you mean? You're like challenging the part of me that I like value so much. I'm so truthful and honest. And I would have obsessed over it and like been devastated. And it would have just cut me up for days and days and days. And it was just one of those things of just, wow, wow. It's like it wasn't a thought to be curious. It wasn't ooh, I should respond in a particular way. It was literally knee-jerk reaction, excitement, curiosity, leaning in. And it was like, oh, this whole idea about neuroplasticity is actually true. What do you know? It's like we have these brain patterns, these nerves that bundle in a particular way, and we have these habits that form. This is the way I think. This is why I do things. Building a new pathway is hard. It's like you have only one or two nerves that are firing in this new direction. But the more you practice, that fiber starts to get stronger. That neural pathway is reinforced. It gets quicker and faster. The less you use the old path, it actually gets disassembled. The body is very conscious of resources. And if this main neural pathway isn't being used as frequently, we're going to take the resources away and build this one over here. And so it's like, really, as I have practiced non-judgment, of just like that internal critic that can be so cutting and cruel and shoulds and all the little ways that we kind of internally shake our finger at ourselves. As that has just not been used as much, the curiosity path has been used more. It truly is a reflex. I don't have to even think about it. And it was just like, that is so interesting. I just had this just wave of gratitude and appreciation of like stepping back into my head of 15 years ago and like, goodness sakes, what just a nightmare of like all of the criticism and the judgment and the trapped on the inside of the emotional turmoil. Comment didn't change. It would have been the same comment. And yet the way I respond is so differently. The way I experience it is so different. So again, just that acknowledgement, as you guys practice this, you're building new neural pathways. And it is going to, at some point, shift from that practice to reflex. And it just becomes, oh, of course. Of course, that's what I do. And, we've also been talking a little bit about, non-efforting in, some of our previous talks about, what is it to just let it be, practice the paced breathing and then let the mind just settle, or practice, just working with something and then letting it settle. And again, that idea of, this goes hand in hand. There's practice and letting go, practice and letting go. Yet you show up and then you let go and you let the stillness be there. And so just kind of incorporating this was one of our older activities or exercises that we've done before. This, putting thoughts on a cloud. I was like, I want to play with this from this perspective of it's practice, but non-efforting practice. And so here we're going to go into that visualization of, you're just sitting there, you're watching the clouds go by, putting thoughts up on clouds. Just the thoughts keep going up there. You don't have to engage with them. You just put the thoughts up there. And then at some point, almost just releasing that sitting there and say, well, what if I don't have to put any thoughts up there on the clouds? What if the thoughts already know what to do? They just go up there on the clouds. And just letting the thoughts go on the clouds without any me putting them on the clouds. So it's like the visual imagery just starts to become a little bit more settled. The thoughts know exactly what to do. The thoughts just go up onto the clouds. I'm not attached to them. They come and they go. They go up there. I'm not pushing anything away. Thoughts are just acting the way thoughts need to do. And they're doing that. So that's what we're going to play with today. And just experimenting with this, watching thoughts, allowing thoughts to be out there in a non-attached way, but also from this place of just ease, letting thoughts do what they need to do. I don't have to force anything to happen. And as I practice this, as I practice not having to force thoughts up there, away, work with them, I'm starting to build that new neural pathway that just says, oh, okay, thoughts can come and go. Cool. It's that simple. It really is that simple. And so with that, we're going to practice. So taking that moment to just meet your breath again. Taking all of your attention just to your breathing. Noticing how your breath wants to be right now in this moment. Nothing to change or fix. It's just breathing. So even as I sit here, I notice my breath is kind of high up in my chest right now. It's like, oh, okay. It's way up in my chest. I notice it way up under my collarbones. Just noticing where your body is moving, what immediately grabs your attention. It's like, oh, hello, breath. There you are. So good to see you today. And maybe beginning to expand that awareness, noticing the whole chest moving. The ribs that open towards the front, kind of pulling up and out with the inhale, relaxing back with the exhale. Perhaps even noticing a movement up as the ribs move up with the inhale and gliding back down with the exhale. Noticing the pressure in the back. Maybe it's between your shoulder blades. Maybe it's a little bit lower in your lower lungs. As you inhale, feeling that pressure extend down into your back, the lightening, releasing with the exhale. Maybe noticing the ribs pulling out to the sides as you breathe. And as you spend more time with the breath, perhaps even noticing the movement in your belly. The breath pulls down with the inhale, pressing against the belly, and then floats back up with the exhale, and the belly relaxes. Beginning to notice the movement of your breath up and down from your collarbones all the way down into your hips. And then front to back from your sternum all the way to your spine. And side to side under your arms, feeling the ribs expand out side to side. Just beginning to notice the three-dimensionality of your breath. And then that quick check-in with your body. Just a quick scan, just noticing what's present. Nothing to do with it. You don't need to understand or fix or just acknowledge it. What's here in the head, the neck, and the shoulders, the arms and the hands, the torso, the back, the hips, the legs, the feet. Just noticing the physical sensations that are present right now. And that checking in with the thoughts. You can look at the content of the thoughts, what you're thinking about. Or you can notice the pattern of the thoughts, the how you're thinking, whether it's fast or slow, whether it's scattered or jumbled, or very tight and focused, musing. There's no right or wrong, good or bad. There's no particular way to be thinking. Just noticing what's there. And then noticing the emotions that are present. Just taking inventory. And just seeing what's present right now in this moment. And so that checking in with your body, your thoughts, your emotions, and your breath. Just being here, right here in this moment. And so as we begin today, stepping into that visualization, imagine yourself sitting outside, somewhere really comfortable, bright blue sky. The weather's that perfect sense of warmth, a little cool breeze, so there's a freshness to the air. You can just sit here, sitting here watching clouds go by. Big, white, fluffy clouds. And they just come and they go. The wind moves them as they will. There's nothing for you to do. Just sitting, taking in the sunshine, the breeze, breathing, just sitting. Clouds are there. And then that tuning in to the thinking brain. It's always putting out thoughts, lots of thoughts. Do I have this visualization right? Do I need to change anything? Oh, wait, I'm thinking about something else. I need to go back to thinking about meditation. Lots of thoughts. We don't try to stop them or change them. Simply notice them. And so you can just take those thoughts and put them up there on those clouds. It's like, here's a thought. Here's another thought. Here's a whole handful of thoughts. Just putting them out there where you can just see them. You're not getting rid of them. You're not making them go away. You're just simply putting them out there where you can see them. Just watch them. You can label them if you want to. Oh, there's a daydreaming thought. There's a planning thought. There's a judging thought. There's a memory thought. Or you can just say thought. There's a thought. Put it out there. Pick it up, put it out there. Noticing whatever wants to hold on to a thought. Noticing which ones you want to push away faster. But just sitting, just breathing, just allowing thoughts to be out there, where you can just sit back and watch them. Just like you're watching clouds go by. You can notice a rush of thoughts coming, or the thoughts get slower, neither good or bad. One way isn't any better than any other way. It's all just thinking, just watching thoughts. And then seeing if you can just fall into that place of just relaxation, just watching clouds, just watching thoughts. You don't put clouds up there. Clouds are just there already. They know what to do. You get to just sit and breathe. Watch the clouds go by. Sometimes I just imagine, instead of the thoughts or the words that are going up there on the clouds, they're just those little wisps. It's the little wisp going out of my head up into the sky. And just going on up there. I don't have to do anything. Maybe even at some point, letting the visualization fade, where you're just sitting, simply breathing, and the thoughts are just going on out there. Nothing to do. And you might notice a stilling, a quiet, or you might notice it gets busier, more, more frenetic. And again, just that acceptance, the non-judgment, allowing whatever it is to say, oh, this is here too. And it goes on a cloud too. Or it just dissipates up there in the air. Or you simply notice it. And that's it. You may notice as the thoughts begin to clear out, emotions get louder. And you can just say, oh, emotions are louder. And they can flow up onto the cloud too. Not getting rid of anything. Just putting it out where I can see it. And again, more stillness. That little bit of settling as the activity ceases until the next round of activity grabs for your attention. And you allow that to go too. Just out there where you can notice it and see it. No pushing away, no holding tight. Just sitting. And then from this place, checking back in with yourself, scanning through your body, noticing those physical sensations that are present right now. And then checking in that just quick check. Oh, how is my thinking at this point? What pattern of thinking do I notice here? Not good or bad, right or wrong. Nothing needs to be changed or different. Just noticing. And then the emotions. What emotions are present here? And that deep breath that says, all is welcome. Whatever it is simply whatever it is. Whatever I'm experiencing in this moment simply is what I'm experiencing. That's it. And the inhale and the exhale. Inhaling out, taking in the whole self, the body, the thoughts, the emotions. And the exhaling, just relaxing back down into your center. Inhaling out, like, oh yes, here I am. And the exhaling, relaxing back. Taking a few more breaths. And when you feel ready, opening your eyes.